Alright, welcome back to the James Ramblin' Reviews. In today's video we're going to be talking about the Australian comedy series Superwog, which was renamed to Superbro. Because welcome back to James Ramblin' Reviews. Today I actually did an Australian accent there because I watched this series called Superwog. Well, it was renamed to Superbro because, just as a fun fact here, before I get into how I feel about the series and things like that, it's actually a slur, so they had to change it outside of Australia where they had it on Netflix. They decided to do that, obviously, so that, it's just a thing with Netflix. They didn't want to have it there because it's an offensive slur. But anyways, what you need to know is, for a bit of context here, I have heard of this series before. It was like these two YouTubers, two guys called Nathan Sayedin and Theodore Sayedin, I hope you pronounce that right. And they're these two guys that do these skits in Australia, these crazy skits where they live in this neighbourhood, something crazy goes down, and then there's a point in time in the episodes where eventually they have to resolve the situation, so then the next scene pans out, so then the next episode continues, sort of thing like that. So because it was renamed to Superbro, I might just rename this title the video to like Superbro Season 1 and Season 2, because it said it was running from 2017 to 2022 on IMDb, but then you go on Netflix, it says it's like a 2021 series, so I don't really know the specific time frame of when it was all kind of made, so we'll just go with the title that I'm going for. So there definitely is all of that, and so there is two seasons here, and I'm going to say this, that I did watch it a couple of times, both seasons. I watched the first season again and the second season again, just to make sure that this is exactly how I feel about this. And so what I will say is that I do enjoy season 1, but I think that season 2 is a lot better. So season 1, it starts off with this thing where the Superwog introduces it all, where there's got this crazy dad with the crazy accent, there's the mum, there's the son, then he decides to destroy the door in the house, and then people come to the door and all like that, and they test him out as a lie detector, and then the son, has to go to another foster family. So it starts off like that. It's got small situations where there's like the electricity bill gets tampered with because the son decides to spend his time on Bitcoin and things like that, and then it gets deeper and deeper into all of that kind of thing. And then there's an episode in here where it's like a zombie apocalypse, where these people, they have to go and they have to survive, and then the homeless start turning into zombies, and they both had a dream. And so that's what I like about the show as well, is that this entire series, it has these two guys playing like 3 or 4 different characters. Like one of them plays like Superwog's mate Johnny, or Theo as they refer to him as well in the show, Johnny, and then there's the mum, and then there's the dad and all of that, and I do appreciate that. And then anytime they come up against something really crazy or a horrible person, they always find a way to have the really, like, the main character and the people that they hate just be as silly as each other. So it's like self-aware humour, it knows what it's actually going for, it's going for a fun time and an enjoyable ride, and I do like that. And how season 2 just starts off with a bang. They know what they're getting themselves into, so they go and they continue making the episodes, and it just feels like they really found the flow in season 2 rather than season 1. Since a lot more of the jokes, they actually have a lot more in them and a lot more to do with what's going on, so I like that. Another really cool detail about the season, as the show I should say, both seasons, is that at the end of the episode they show you these blooper moments where they're trying to say a line of dialogue, or they're trying to say a piece, like when they're acting out a scene and they're trying to say the script or whatever, they mess up the lines. Like, that is just a cool detail into how, no matter how many times it took for them to film this, they had a fun time. So it just shows you, it doesn't matter how much money you spend on something, you're just going to enjoy yourself, and you're going to show people like the bloopers at the end. I like that kind of detail, because it does show you that it kind of is shot like a YouTube video, I noticed, but it got itself onto Netflix, because there is a point where it says thanks for watching, then it'll have like the intro music, and it'll feel like intro videos you would have seen from YouTube videos from years and years ago now. So I do like all of those details, so I enjoy this series. Superbro, it's an enjoyable series. It's obviously not perfect because season 1 is a bit it takes a while to really find the humour in a few moments, but then when you get to season 2 there is all of that. I also do like the final episode of season 2, and I like season 1 and season two's finale, but season two's finale is just slightly better, obviously, because I just think that the jokes in that one, it's a lot better to see how it actually all plays out. Like the first one, it's like a crazy zombie apocalypse, but then season 2 is this whole ordeal where there's like this big scam to do with this guy that was selling shoes online, and it has a lot more in it. Like it's a little bit simple, but then it goes crazier and there's more to really get into, and then you actually find that you actually get a little bit more jokes with like this Chinese character, and there's things like that I enjoy about the show. Like overall, I really do enjoy this series. Like, could go on about it for a while because it's just a really enjoyable show. There's a lot to really enjoy. It doesn't make you think. It's one of these shows where you just watch it, you sit through, you just actually laugh at it, you enjoy it, and you just keep remembering the fact that you enjoyed it, because that's all it's going to give you. It's not going to give you some outstanding experience, because all it's meant to be is a big laugh, a big smile on your face. So honestly, this is how I feel about the show itself. And yes, I am actually going on holiday this weekend, so videos will probably slow down in the next couple of weeks. So if you don't see any videos on the channel, then you know why. I've got a community tab post going into all the details, so you don't really need to know that because I've already described it on the page, on the YouTube page itself. So yeah, stay tuned for another review on the James Ramblin' Reviews. You'll see me in a few weeks, and I don't need to go into too much detail about where I am going, but where I am going is pretty exciting, so that's all I will say. So yeah, bye.